For decades, I'd had a love affair with alternative energy. I thought many of the world's problems could be alleviated with a new source of cheap and plentiful power rather than fossil fuels. Initially, since my home's location in Brisbane was so windy, I thought of putting up wind generators on my roof, but realized they'd be too noisy. So then I looked into bladeless wind power, but at the time the technology was too immature. I seriously considered converting an old VW diesel Rabbit a friend had given me to electric, but I realized it would be an expensive and impractical endeavor. Later, I would get an electric car, and with solar becoming more practical with increasing efficiency and financial incentives, it looked possible. But I had a big problem. I had two of the biggest eucalyptus trees in Brisbane towering over my house. Then, in the fall of 2019, amazingly, the city of Brisbane agreed to remove the 5 eucalyptus trees growing on city land bordering my house. This cleared the path for my journey into solar. I contracted with a highly recommended solar company to perform the install, and I wanted it completed by the end of the year because there was an increasing possibility the state and federal tax credits might be going away soon.
You're doing great, Andrew. There's Aiden over there working. We've got all the kids working, including Snowy. She's our security.
Luckily, the property perfectly aligned north to south, and so the panels could be laid out in a grid on my roofs to achieve optimum performance. However, it would be necessary to replace the garage roofs before adding the panels, and just a re-roof would be very expensive. And I began to have nightmares about my roof with racks of solar panels and their exposed undersides, and I began to desire something more architecturally appealing. And then it hit me. Why not create a new slope roof? Not only would it improve the home's curb appeal, I'd be able to mount the solar panels flush to the surface. I drew up an artist's conception of what I thought the house might look like, and with the go-ahead from my wife Veronica, I let go of my solar company and started the planning. From my many not-so-positive interactions with the previous solar installer, I realized I could do it all myself as an owner-builder, and with the blessings of the City of Brisbane's building and planning departments, I marched ahead. I removed the old roofs and ordered trusses. My friend John, who lives in Brisbane, helped me frame the new roofs.
All right, so
grab that. I'll go up here.
I'm not holding it anymore.
And another friend of mine on my journey was an invention I named Lift-O-Matic.
Two by fours that are slightly tapered onto the top and bottom sides. So if I look on the edge, it's going to be like this. That's the panel. And then this is the carpeted 2x4. Okay? And 2x4, I think I'm going to try to taper a little bit, like this. Just so it skips over the edges.
Though this all took place during the height of the pandemic, in a way it was a blessing. As everybody was working at home and strolling in front of my house throughout the day, I made a lot of new friends. Countless neighbors would stop and talk with me about the progress on the project that made their walks a little more interesting. its ups and downs, but it was well worth it. I invite you to follow the adventure from start to finish on the website and YouTube web series, and travel along with me on my journey into solar.